podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
As he said that, skeletons erupted from the ground. There were 12 of them, one for each tooth the general had planted. They were nothing like Halloween skeletons, or the kind you might see in cheesy movies. These were growing flesh as I watched, turning into men, but men with dull gray skin, yellow eyes, and modern clothes. Gray muscle shirts, camo pants, and combat boots. If you didn't look too closely, you could almost believe they were human. But their flesh was transparent, and their bones shimmered underneath like X-ray images. One of them looked straight at me, regarding me coldly, and I knew that no cap of invisibility would fool it. The snake lady released the scarf, and it fluttered down toward the general's hand. As soon as he gave it to the warriors, they would hunt Zoe and the others until they were extinct. I didn't have time to think. I ran and jumped with all my might, plowing into the warriors and snatching the scarf out of the air.
Welcome to Of the Eldest Gods, where we discuss Rick Riordan's role as our godly parent.
I'm Ray from Cabin 12.
And I'm
Ethan
Charlie
from
from
Cabin
Cabin
6.
13.
And I'm Ethan from Cabin 6.
We should probably tell our guests what they're actually supposed to do. I blame you for this, Charlie.
Should we do that again?
Well, I think we need to keep this in for how funny it is.
Oh, boy.
For posterity.
Lovely.
It's great.
Posterity? Prosperity? Posterity.
Posterity.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the last
I
one.
love podcasting. It's so good.
Uh-huh.
I can't speak at all, and that's why I'm a great podcaster. So
Exactly. We are doing fantastic.
listen, guests, you do it after. You're the third one because you were the
Thank you.
extra.
Thank you.
Best for last.
All right. Welcome, Ethan. It's so nice to have you podcasting.
Yes, thank you, Ray and Charlie, for having me back. The last time I was here, Ray was not, so glad to meet them here. And just excited to talk some Titan's Curse.
And some growing zombies.
Mhm.
Did you
Oh,
learn
yeah.
how to grow them?
Yeah, I did learn how to grow some zombies. Though there was, it's not exactly the best recipe in the world, because it's not as specific as one might hope, but I got the general idea.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty darn specific. I think it's just you need dragon's teeth, and you just need to put it in the dirt, and then zombie.
Well, you also need blood.
Yeah, and they did not
Details.
specify what kind of blood it is.
That's
so,
what I
like,
meant.
We'll
It didn't
talk
say if it
about
was.
this.
We didn't say if it was human blood or animal blood or what have you. So
Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Buckets of the stuff. You know?
It'll never be enough.
no, never enough.
Yeah, it's this sure was a chapter. This
It
there was a lot of
definitely
shit
was.
that happened here.
Yeah, after all that setup, we're finally questing, and it's picking up, my dudes.
Mm-hmm. And Percy actually doing some very un-Percy-like stuff, in my opinion.
Mm.
Like sneaky boy.
At least at first. He goes into, yes, him being a sneaky boy is what I'm referring to. Percy's
Mhm.
not normally a sneaky boy.
He's a clever boy. He's a tricksy boy.
Yes.
But normally he does like slam headlong into stuff. So
He's
Yes.
thinking like Annabeth because Annabeth's not around. Okay?
yeah, somebody has to.
He's like, what would Annabeth do? WWAD.
He's wearing a wrist.
That kind of reminds me of
bracelet.
like when I'm around my best friend Ben. Like when we're separate, we're a lot more like quote unquote normal. But the minute you get us together in a room, we have one shared brain cell between the two of us.
Mhm.
So now Percy
Entirely understandable.
Percy has more brain cells now that Annabeth's not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because when Annabeth's around, she has all the brain cells. She steals them
Yes.
from him.
Yep.
Yeah,
She takes them all.
He's like, you can have these. I'm not using it right now. You'll use them better. So.
Yep.
Oh, that's so good. Well, oh, that's right. I keep forgetting that we were gonna do something.
We were?
Yeah, I messaged you like after the last recording that we have a review on Apple Podcasts.
Oh, yes.
Oh, good for y'all.
You want to get that
Yeah, I'm getting it up. So we got a review from our good friend Takena, who's on the Deus Ex Media Discord server.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We got a 5-star review. Said it's nice dive into the PJ series. It does take a bit for them to find their stride, but gets smoother all the time. It's really interesting to hear about all the mythological stories that the work's derived from. Keep up the good work.
Yay! Thank you so much. I hadn't read that yet, so it's very nice to hear it.
Yeah, I check Apple Podcasts every so often, but I hadn't in a while, and I saw that. Yeah.
We do our best. We do our best out here.
We're
Aren't we
trying.
all? We're just doing what we can.
Alrighty, Ray, what is this chapter about? Besides growing zombies?
Well, I mean, obviously that's the most important thing, is the zombie recipe, but I guess we can get into the rest of it. So we learn that Zoe is driving the van, because apparently Zoe can drive, and Percy and I both wonder if she has a license.
And what year it
And
says.
it's interesting to know, I know I'm supposed to just be doing the summary right now, but here's a little commentary for you. It's interesting to know that if you can drive, they just let you have the van. That would have been useful, like, every other time we've gone on a quest.
Yep.
But
Why can't Grover...
I guess when you're 12...
Why can't Grover drive? He's like almost 30. Come on.
Okay, here's the thing. Do you think that cloven hooves are built to sit in a normal mortal car? Because his knees face the opposite direction.
And now that you say that, like, the gas pedal, the brake pedal, like, he's got his feet inside of, like, a fake tennis shoe. Like, and so you can't, like, tilt your ankle to, like... well, I'm still thinking... with the hooves, maybe not the easiest transition.
He doesn't have
it's not built
the
for it.
length that a human foot would in order to do
exactly. Like, you use those on the pivot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your right ankle has to pivot in order to do that.
Driving has messed up my feet a lot, so don't drive, folks. Just don't do it.
Let's get some public transportation, but moving on. The quest group makes a quick stop in Manhattan, or like they go there, and Percy and Blackjack make a quick stop, landing on the Chrysler Building. I had to Google that to see which building that was, because I may be American, but I don't know shit about New York. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, that one.
It's on the cover of the book, Ray.
I mean, it's sort of
it's
the
not
cover
on the
of the
cover
book, and it also depends
of
on
the
which
new
book you
one.
have.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's on
yeah.
the cover of mine.
It's on the cover of my old one.
Yeah, the old cover. I know, but I wanted to see it. Anyways, they are stopped there by Mr. D, who berates Percy for being a selfish hero and compares him to Theseus, that bitch. And more importantly, tells us about his wife, which we all love to hear.
Yes.
I love her so much.
Yeah, I mean, she did kind of get the shaft on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And Theseus is fucking dick. If you've ever played Hades, that fucking dick.
Yeah, y'all know. Then he just kind of lets them go. A kind of a random conversation, Mr. D. But
Also, can we touch on the fact that Mr. D is confirmed polyamorous in this chapter? I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
It's true.
Well, I was gonna say I was gonna talk about that during our
in-depth discussion.
Okay.
Our close reading,
but 100%, absolutely. Like, Percy is like, what? Non-monogamy? And he's like, Percy, we don't have time to get into this right now.
Percy, this is middle grade. We're not talking about this right now.
We head off to Maryland and then to DC. Apparently, they are not making a lot of stops. Zoe is driving like a maniac. That's how my roommates drive. They just keep going, and you're like, don't you have to stop for gas? No, it's a hybrid car. Anyways, Percy has Blackjack drop him off at the Washington Monument and sends him back to camp, which seems like a terrible call, but okay.
Right.
The quest party heads into the Smithsonian, but Dr. Thorne has been following them, and Percy follows him into the Museum of Natural History, where we see the General and Luke. But also, it feels weird that we see the General in person so soon in the book. But
Right.
Yeah, it does.
just because we have the invisibility cap, we are able to do more sneaking, like you were saying, and so we don't have to do it through dream things to, like, see the villains have their clandestine meetings. Anyways, apparently there are dragon teeth in the T-Rex exhibit there, and the general uses them to grow some skeletons with translucent flesh. I don't know that I would call them zombies, but whatever you want, Rick.
Okay, I had an in-depth discussion about that in the last book when they were calling the Confederate soldiers zombies, like, and I was like, they're not really zombies. It's just, they were ghosts, but they weren't ghosts, and it's all weird.
Yeah, whatever.
They're just a bunch of skelly boys.
So, they try to set the skeletons on the questing party with a hunter scarf that probably belongs to Zoe, seeing as the general seems to know her somehow, question mark. But Percy stops them from getting a whiff of that, accidentally getting himself snatched, and giving them his scent. Whoops. And cliffhanger.
Dun 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 dun.
We love a cliffhanger in the Percy Jackson series.
Oh, we love it.
Oh, the listeners don't even know how funny that will be later on.
I did that for those who know. Alrighty. Well, we have some good stuff to chat about.
Mm-hmm.
So, in case you missed it, but well, I guess I'll start with the dragon's teeth, because there is in fact its own Wikipedia page for dragon's teeth in mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I was really hoping you'd get into this, because we were just talking about it before we started recording, but it's kind of weird.
The science is not all there. There is none, in fact. But, dragon's teeth.
Yeah.
So this actually relates to two different myths, but one is about Cadmus, who found the founder of Thebes, and the other is, Jason and the Argonauts for the Golden Fleece. But yeah, so dragons, we know what dragons are. They breathe fire, yada yada yada, big scaly guys, but their teeth grow into fully armed warriors when they're planted. So
wild.
I know, right? So Cadmus, in his story, he killed this dragon that was sacred to Ares.
Is it the dragon mentioned in the story? In the chapter, Sybaris, is the dragon mentioned that the teeth come from.
Oh, did it say what dragon it was?
It said which dragon they came from, yeah.
Yes. Not just any dragon teeth. These come from the ancient Sybaris herself.
Oh, goodness. I need to learn how to spell that first.
Okay, well, if it doesn't come up in this myth, then that doesn't matter that much.
I want to know, though.
Okay, I'm Googling it. Oh no, it's bringing me to a company. No.
Oh boy. Actually, no, it's not.
It might be
it doesn't appear to be. This is just some other dragon.
Yep, Sybaris is a different dragon, different myth.
Is it still a Greek myth?
Yeah, it is.
Lamia of Mount Syrphus.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It was killed by the hero Eurybatus? I don't know. Eurybbatus.
Okay. This is hard when I cannot see these things in front of me.
It terrorized Delphi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
So given the question we asked earlier, the answer is no. Dragon ain't got nothing to do with nothing, presumably.
Nope.
It's just some dragon.
Just another myth that Rick wanted to bring up in passing.
Like, if you know a lot about mythology, then, that's a cool reference, just, knowing that these are specific dragon teeth. But if you don't, then it's unobtrusive. I like that. I like it when Rick, just, drops a little something in there for the hardcore fans.
A little sprinkle.
I'm still angry about the time he tried to do that and he got something so wrong in Sea of Monsters. The whole thing with the Golden Fleece, it fucked
Please
with my
refresh
brain.
my memory, Charlie.
He said it was, Cadmus and Cadmus's sister or something that, got taken away by the Golden Fleece. And, they have nothing to do with the Golden Fleece. Nothing whatsoever.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had a breakdown during that entire episode. Sam was on it.
Boy.
And I was like, I don't know what's happening here. I'm so confused.
It's fine. Rick mythology is a separate thing from real mythology. Don't worry about it.
It is.
He's making his own canon.
Sometimes he makes up his own OCs.
I mean, that's the brilliant thing about myths, is that every time they're told, something new happens.
Absolutely.
It's true.
Yeah, he's part of a long tradition of just making shit up sometimes.
I mean, isn't that how
And
all
getting it
myths
wrong.
start?
Yeah.
People
That's
making
true.
shit up to explain things they don't know how to explain.
Exactly. What they wanted to explain with these teeth and the warriors, it was actually just Thebes. It was just the founding of Thebes.
Yep, that's it.
Huh, fun.
To bring it back. Hey.
Hey.
So, yeah, Cadmus kind of angered the fuck out of Ares. Separately, there is a whole other thing where he has to, serve Ares for a time because he killed his favorite dragon. But then Athena tells him to sow the teeth, which springs up some warriors. Those warriors, they all fight each other. And then the 5 who survive this fight become, help Cadmus found Thebes. And so the descendants of the Thebians are these weird dragon tooth warriors. And there are, in fact, people in mythology who are supposedly descended from them.
So that begs the question.
So presumably in the mythology, they're not
They're not zombies.
No,
They're
they're
just
not. They're
people.
just dudes.
Huh.
They're weird people, but they're still people? They're people from the ground.
Yeah. So
Yeah, they're...
that makes me wonder why Rick chose to present them as skeletons, because if they're just guys, I think the reason that they come up as warriors is because that dragon was particular to Ares, so he would want
That would
warriors to
make
come?
sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. That they would be, strong warriors, because dragons are very strong, and Ares is a war guy, so...
That's my 2 cents on that.
Makes sense.
It all coming together.
Yeah. In the other story, it's very similar in what happens. Jason does not kill a dragon, but he is challenged as one of his many challenges to get the fleece by King Aeetes to sow the dragon's teeth, which are from Athena, because Athena told Cadmus to sow them, I guess? I don't know. In order to obtain the fleece. So he does that, warriors spring from the earth, and so the warriors don't just kill him. He is told by Medea to throw a stone, so they all kill each other.
Oh,
So it's
Wow.
it's fucked up.
so he has to be the last man standing in that. That's the whole
Oh my God.
point of it.
I was
So
going
you
to
have
say
to
the
kill
planting
each
of the dragon teeth reminded me of something else that happens in Percy Jackson, but that doesn't happen until the next book, so I'm not going to say anything about it.
You can tell us later, Ethan, if you remember.
I might
So-
not. It's honestly a coin flip.
So bringing it back to why they're quote-unquote zombies, I would say that the villains making just straight up dudes out of the ground is a lot more philosophically challenging. And also, if you're fighting them, that's a lot more, morally upsetting. It's
Yeah.
like how the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they have to make the enemy ninjas into robots so that they can beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or even with the Star Wars prequels where they have the battle droids, people are slicing them up left and right.
Yep.
It's just so they're not.
Yeah,
people.
I don't know. I don't remember if they're gonna, kill these things. I'm assuming so, though.
Also, I had a thought, when Cadmus sowed the dragon's teeth, that dragon had just died, whereas Sybaris had been dead for a long time. So,
Mm-hmm.
if-
Yeah, and if you want to tie it in, then that definitely makes sense that they are less
can make
potent
sense.
teeth, and so
Yep.
they're
'Cause-
less corporeal dudes.
So on the Spar Toy page, it adds a little bit of detail into Cadmus's story, and it also tells you what the description what the word means. So it means to sow, sown men, they're
Oh.
from the earth.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it was gonna say what they looked like,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I don't see
Nothing.
anything on here describing what they look like at all.
Yeah.
So-
I'm assuming they're just dudes,
I guess they are, just
especially
dudes.
if they can have descendants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them having descendants
Okay.
implies that they can procreate.
Yeah.
I am gonna come in here with my one of my wild thumbtack theories.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Listen. I don't actually know everything about the Greek language and all of that, but my brain is just Spartoi, Sparta, which liked Ares. Related to the dragon. Also, so when Ares was in Rome as Mars, he's also a god of agriculture,
Interesting.
Oh.
and these are sown men.
Huh.
They're from the ground. You have to sow them into the ground.
We should actually look that up sometime. I don't know that we have time for that right now, but that actually makes a whole lot of sense.
Like, I don't know if that is at all, like, how that works, but that is what my brain is doing here.
So is Ceres not, like, as much of a...
She is also... No, she is also, like, this same kind of, like, goddess, like, Demeter.
Okay.
Yeah, she's still an agricultural goddess, but I know that Mars is also associated with agriculture in Rome, so...
There's gotta be... Sometimes your theories, I'm like, Charlie, where are you going? I can't come with you. But on this one, I'm like, I am also putting the thumbtacks in. I'm like,
No, I can see where Charlie would get
Usually,
that.
I'm trying to explain somebody else's theory, and I'm doing so very badly. So that's why this is my own, just like, I put thoughts together. Yeah, this just, on the Spartoid page, just describes more about Cadmus's shit.
It also gives a bit of details as far as what happened after with Thebes.
Yeah, fun fact, he also married, Ares' daughter, Harmonia, the goddess, of, harmony, peace, good shit, daughter of Aphrodite and Ares.
Huh.
I wonder if there's
That's
a
cool.
Harmonia cabinet.
I had never heard of her before. I love that for them.
Yeah. Alright. I think we're just about good with the context, but like, that's what it is. It's just, does it make sense? Does the science add up here? Also, there is no blood involved.
Right. He just plants them in the ground and there they go.
That's just to make it spookier. And also, both spookier and more goofy. I think the whole segment with the kittens is just because Rick thought it was really funny. And that's valid of him.
Yeah, it's a great juxtaposition because, like, you have this dude planting, like, teeth in the ground and watering them with blood, and then little kittens just come out of the ground.
So, like, it's blood, but it's also out of, like, a cute little flower watering can.
Yep.
So, I have feelings about that cat, but that cat won't come back for, like, many, many years.
Oh my god.
Wait, you're saying it's this... What? No,
the
that
same
can't
cat
be. That can't be.
From House of Hades. It is the same cat, Ethan. I don't think that's a spoiler, but that cat comes back.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
I
that's
just
all
now
I'm
made
going
that
to say
connection
about
in my
that.
brain, so...
You're welcome. All right, let's talk about this fucking chapter and Percy's his little journey here. He goes on such a journey through highways in the clouds.
Yeah, we go so far.
Yeah, because we go from basically Long Island, New York, to Washington, D.C., which...
Wait, how far of a car ride is that?
That's a great question.
Let me Google this and make sure that Rick's geography makes sense.
Usually his geography makes sense. Usually.
Yeah, Long Island to Washington, D.C. is 5.5 hours by car.
Okay.
That's fine then. That's more than fine.
That's reasonable.
I mean, that's a pretty reasonable road trip time, in my opinion.
Yeah, like, that's almost 6 hours. My family, we stop every 2 hours for a gas station, bathroom, snack break, whatever.
Yeah.
You can't stop in less than 2 hours. You have to go at least 2 hours, but that's around when you're supposed to stop. Anyways, so this is a 1 to 2 stop trip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which means that they're totally valid. They made one stop, so...
One stop, and it was to get donuts?
All of this makes perfect sense to me. I'm ready to do this road trip. Let's go.
Yep, let's go.
Let's go on the Titan's curse.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I would be down to do a Percy Jackson themed road trip.
Oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, actually.
Someday.
There's a lot of geography mentioned in this chapter.
So we start in Long Island, we go down to, like, DC, go to the Bermuda Triangle, go over
At some point you have to hit all 50 states, I think. Does Rick hit all 50 states?
Really?
I don't know. Probably not.
I don't think he did.
That cannot be true.
There's a lot of states that he's gone through in all the books.
I've gone to a lot of states. But I have not been to all 50 states. Like, there's no way.
I'm probably wrong, but, like, you know what? That's what I need to do. I need to get, like, a calendar, and, like, every time Percy goes to a state, I'll, like, do the scratch-off thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just, like, make a map of every quest.
I'm sure that exists, and I'm gonna Google
They
it right now.
do exist. I have Googled that. That does, in fact, exist.
Let's take a look. They do not go to all 50 states.
Well, It's also probably just for, like, this series. It's probably not for the next series.
It is. This is just for Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the map I'm looking at right now.
Okay.
But there are still some states that you just do not mention.
I mean, no one cares about Wyoming. I'm sorry.
No. Honestly, I forget Wyoming exists sometimes.
I feel like a lot of us do.
But Wyoming is the sort of place that you do pass through. I bet you Percy Jackson has never been to North Dakota in his fucking life.
No, even on this map, North Dakota's not even touched at all.
Yeah, there's
I
no
don't
way.
recall that one. It's not like anyone important lives there.
No, absolutely not. Except for my darling roommate who grew up in North Dakota.
Oh, well, it happens.
But they escaped, so...
They did.
Alright, so this chapter, so I don't know where you can get Camp Half-Blood thermal underwear, but I'd like some.
Apparently at the camp store, so better get to it.
Apparently.
Hey, do we have to talk about the camp store again, Ray?
No, we don't. Moving on. I feel so bad for Blackjack. He's driving so far, and it's so cold. It's raining.
Man, Blackjack.
Blackjack wanted
Poor
this.
horse.
He wanted this. He was like, Percy, anything for boss. Love that
I
kid.
know, but like... Okay. I don't think you need me to explain how any creature that wants to serve someone voluntarily without compensation is bad.
Yeah.
It's like the house elves in Harry Potter.
Yeah, it's...
I assume the compensation here is that Blackjack thinks Percy's gonna put in a good word with Poseidon and be like, yeah, he's the coolest Pegasus ever.
Well, what's that gonna do, though?
I don't even think that. Like...
I don't know.
Last episode, Ethan, we were talking about Blackjack. Blackjack is a member of the mob, and he thinks of Percy as his mob boss. And so...
That's why he calls him boss.
That is which is not a good relationship.
No, I just thought that was a nickname.
A way to conceptualize this.
I thought it was just a nickname. Huh.
Well, he's also has to have, like, a thick accent.
Right, because, like...
Like a New York accent here.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
so Ray, whenever you read this, do you read Blackjack as having a thick, like, New York City accent?
Yes,
like a New York City Italian mobster accent?
Not necessarily, I don't know.
Like The Godfather, or like
that
Tony
it's
Soprano,
precisely
or
that.
something like that?
Probably not actually that, probably a more cartoonish version of that.
That's also good,
like,
though.
hey, I'll be okay, boss, just catch my breath, something like that.
I think the other question is, the only person who should play Blackjack, Jack Black?
Oh, 100%.
Are we correct?
Gotta.
I think it's Jack Black. He's the only person
I definitely think
allowed.
so. Yes.
Yeah, if Jack Black's not Dionysus, which, like, they already got the perfect casting for Dionysus, so...
There is one other person I would accept to play Blackjack, and that's Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
I like that, actually. Like, that would be a good through line.
To connect
his
Percy
career.
to Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. But Blackjack is the best horse, and he's trans. We love him.
We do love Blackjack.
So Zoe driving. So
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so
does she have a
before
license?
I don't think she does. Or if she does, like, Artemis gave it to her and is like, here, this is something you'll need to pass through, like, mortal territory.
Wait,
and it's like...
Wait. It's like psychic paper, but a license?
Exactly.
Like it doesn't actually have the year on it. Like, it just, like, woo.
It just...
Well,
makes,
it's the mist, so it's whatever the person expects it to say.
Right. It makes her say, like, oh, she was born in this year, so she's 28, or whatever.
Yeah.
It probably not that old, because I don't know that anyone would buy that.
No.
But...
But you know what I mean. Like, it goes back far enough.
Yeah.
To say, like, oh, this is how old this person actually is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She definitely has to have that, and it's just, like, missed license, so...
How old do we think Zoe looks, is the question.
I think canonically she's 13? 13?
She can't be that young. I always picture her as being, like, 16.
Well, Thalia looks older than her.
Who's
Yeah,
Talia?
and Thalia's only 15.
Oh.
Appearing.
So she look 14-ish?
Yeah, 13, 14, somewhere around there.
Wow, okay. I did not...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The hunters are babies. They are children.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, right? It makes everything so much more uncomfortable.
Well, because I pictured Zoe looking like she's, 16, 17, an older teenager.
Ethan.
But
I know where your brain is going.
I was a child, Charlie.
I know.
I was a child.
You were allowed. It's fine. We all thought she was hot.
I also imagined her with box braids, so there's that.
That's cool.
I imagined Zoe having box braids, even though that's probably very impractical for a hunter to have.
It's fine. We were all 12 at one point and thought Zoe was hot. It's fine.
I thought Elsewhere's your gay awakening, Charlie.
Listen. That was the first time I realized, okay?
Ah. Okay. Retroactive
Yeah,
canon. Got it.
Yeah.
So, they're on the top of the Chrysler building, which we know what that looks like now, right? We all know that one. It's the one with the eagles.
It's the pointy one. Is that the building that they're on in the Disney's original film Enchanted? When there's a big dragon,
so.
And she's like breaking it.
It's either that or the Empire State Building.
I was gonna reference a different Disney movie, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. That's the eagle that they fly in The Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yep.
Yeah.
I'm just now remembering that movie exists in the first place, so...
I never forget that The Sorcerer's Apprentice exists.
I never forget it because it's a favorite of me and my mom's, and also, I know Christina's watched it now because she's watching all the Nick Cage movies.
Right. Because you have...
Incredible.
Because you have freaking Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon and Nicolas Cage wielding magic.
Yeah.
And Dr. Octopus is the villain.
What could go wrong?
It's my favorite. Everything is great here. Yeah, so it's that same building where so many things have happened.
Yeah.
It's just the Disney building, I think. We need to rename
Apparently.
it.
I'm sure if they wanted to, they could.
Okay, is the Empire State Building the same shape as the Chrysler Building?
I don't think so.
They're tall
what does that
buildings.
one
They're
look
all
like?
the same, right?
God. New York. Why are your buildings all so tall?
No, it's because we want to try to reach the sky, the gods,
I
And
can
we
fly
can't.
twice as high.
It's called hubris.
Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
Okay, so the Empire State Building is more boxy. It looks like a set of platforms, whereas the Chrysler Building is
arches.
like archy on the top.
Yeah.
And then it goes up to a point.
Yeah.
I'm glad
But
we
they are
cleared
both
that
pointy.
up. They are both very pointy. All right.
Well, guess who we meet on the Chrysler Building?
It's my dad/crush. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard.
I'm not going to.
Anyways, I was thinking that this scene is like legitimately pretty random. Like,
Right.
he shows up, he wraps Percy up in some grapevines and blackjack,
Mm-hmm.
and then he like yells at him a little bit, but like not for anything he's particularly done.
Nope.
He's like, literally, why are you going on this quest? You're just a selfish hero like they all are. And Percy's like, what?
I feel like Dionysus was like, I have to go and yell at this kid because, like, he left camp and he's not supposed to do that. But, like, I'm just gonna, like, yell at him about things that I'm mad about, not anything that, like, he did.
Okay, can you imagine Mr. D taking his job that seriously? Like, he's there as a punishment.
Again, like I said, he's not actually yelling at Percy for anything that Percy did. Like, an actual
he just wanted to get this off his chest.
He's like, I have to go after him so that Chiron thinks I'm doing something, but I'm just gonna, like, complain to him about my problems.
Congratulations, Percy. You are now the therapist of a millennia-old deity. Good job.
Can we talk about this warm-up suit? Leopard skin warm-up suit?
This
I love
man,
it.
Absolute gaudiest fashion sense.
He has an aesthetic.
I admire for sticking to his aesthetic. It's not mine, so.
It's beautiful, okay? Everything about it. Perfection. So yeah, Percy left. I'm mad at you, but also I'm gonna tell you about my wife, who I love very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Theseus didn't, so there's that.
Fuck
Yeah.
Theseus.
Honestly.
I've talked about him enough times on this podcast, but fuck Theseus.
It's very funny to me that Mr. D is like, what do you think happened? And Percy's like, they got married happily ever after the end. And it's like, Percy, you know better. You know
it's
that's
Greek
never
mythology.
how it works.
Only Perseus got a happy ending. What did Theseus do? He literally just dumped her because he didn't care.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mr. D, I've mentioned this before. Mr. D is making a great showing in this book. He's very fun.
He's actually showing up, which is a lot more than he's done before.
He's here, he's queer, and also we learned he's poly.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did learn that.
It's just like we're not gonna dwell on this.
There is nothing in this that would make you believe that he and Ariadne are not in an open relationship. Like,
they are. Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
They're Greek gods. Like, the ancient Greeks were all about that sort of thing.
Except Hera.
but they're all jealous all the time too. Like,
Yeah.
I wish that they weren't. If we could just like move past that a little bit and like actually just
Like, there are
people-
a couple of them that are not in supportive open relationships, and they are Zeus and Hera, because Hera doesn't want that, and Zeus is like, I don't care what you want.
I'm gonna go fuck anyone and everyone.
And then Hephaestus and Aphrodite are a similar fashion, but also, they didn't really want to be married to each other, so...
No, they didn't. And both of them had children with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm not a fan of all the cheating. I feel like there's a lot of cheating going on in all this Greek mythology.
I know, we all just marry
but
each other.
I am a big fan of polyamory and open relationships.
Can we just all marry each other? That's it.
Let's get rid of monogamous normativity. Is that? I'm sure there's an actual like term for that.
There's definitely a word for this. It's
not heteronormativity. I think that's where Ray was trying to go with that.
Oh, I've definitely heard this word recently, and I don't remember what it is.
Mononormativity? I don't know.
Yeah, like
it's
you
something
would
like
think.
that.
I don't know. Bad gays. We don't even know.
The worst gays.
I'm monogamous, but y'all
we
do
all
whatever.
know that the most important thing about being gay is knowing the correct terminology.
Oh, always. It's not like I've had to define what exactly bisexual means for me.
Once you learn you're gay, you get your gay license, and then you get your book of terms. Don't you know? That's how it works.
And you'll be tested regularly, and if you fail...
If you fail, your gay license gets a corner cut off.
This is Ray from the edit, dropping in seamlessly to let you all know the word we were looking for was amatonormativity.
So yeah, Dionysus doesn't actually care if Percy lives or dies. She's like, fine, go on your quest, but you're a fucking stupid hero, and stupid heroes are why my wife is sad.
I hate
That's
you.
that's a
I hate
valid
you
reason for
personally,
him to
Percy
not
Jackson.
like that. Like, not
Yeah.
like heroes in general, because...
Yeah, no, I love this. I love getting to see a little bit of, like,
He loves his wife.
more of what Mr. D feels, what he thinks on the inside.
What he feels and thinks, he loves his wife.
Though, that makes me wonder, why did Ariadne never come see him at camp? We never see her ever.
I assume she's not allowed.
There seem to be weird rules about interacting with the heroes.
I-
So I would assume that, like, you know, he's stationed here, but, like, the others aren't allowed to just, like, pop by, generally.
I think that's part of his punishment, is that he's supposed to be there. He's not allowed to drink, and he's not allowed to see his wife.
Mm,
He can
Mhm.
see
that would also
his-
make sense.
his demigod children, and that is it. But that's just because he has to see all the demigod children. So
Ah, I see.
yeah, that's my thought about that.
Okay. That
So-
would make sense. I mean, it is a punishment.
It is a punishment,
Right.
you know? Sad. But also, God, thinking about the fact that how many years has he been there, and how old are his twin sons? At one point,
Connor and Travis stole?
No, Pollux and Castor.
Yeah.
Oh.
just saying.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. You're the timeline expert, Charlie. I would have not a clue.
Castor is 12.
Okay. I mean, they're like Percy's age-ish. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like, when did he bone somebody to get demigod children? If he was supposed to be a king?
Don't worry about it. Don't think about it too hard. They're gods. They
I
can do
have
whatever.
thoughts.
He's a god. He could do whatever. He could be wherever. He could be having sex right now and you wouldn't know.
I don't know. All right. So, we didn't get Blackjack any donuts. How do we feel
No.
about this?
Yeah, that's so sad. He told him he would get him some donuts.
Yeah, Blackjack still needs his donuts.
I blame Zoe for this.
That's fair.
And also the fact that horses cannot go into, like, donut shops.
I mean, they could. Most people wouldn't like it, but they could.
There's a horse loose in the donut shop.
I just realized there was a joke about cops eating donuts.
There sure is.
The horse is in the donut shop. I didn't know he knew how to do that.
The other important thing that happened during the Mr. D conversation.
Ooh, what?
He compares Zoe to some of the mythological women who were wronged by heroes. Foreshadowing, baby!
Foreshadowing. Also, we mentioned my girl Medea.
We hear a lot of, little bits about Zoe in this chapter.
Very mysterious.
Little tiny notes.
Mysterious
Comparing
one, that Zoe Nightshade.
To Ariadne and Medea.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on there, but also I love Medea, my main bitch. She's my phone case, so.
I'm aware.
The next note that we get about her is in this next scene where they stop in Maryland and Percy, spies on them a little bit. Because Zoe says that she's been driving since cars were invented.
Yeah.
It's fine.
And Percy's like, dang, how old is she? And I'm like, Percy, you didn't notice her saying thee and thou?
Yeah, that should have been your first giveaway.
She old. She's not saying Shakespearean things for fun.
She also calls Talia a scullion, which I originally read as scallion.
Okay, what's a scullion mean?
So I thought she was calling Talia a green onion. Just
okay,
because.
What is a scullion?
I have no idea. It's probably a Shakespearean insult or something.
Well, it sounds like scullery maid.
That's what my brain goes to.
You're actually right, Ray. A scullion is a servant assigned to those menial kitchen tasks. So, people who, mop the floor and clean up after people. And...
So a janitor.
Yeah.
That is rude of her. That's what I was about to say. Janitors are the backbone of our society, so jot
really
that down,
are.
Zoe.
Right, that's what my dad does for a living. He cleans for places that don't have internal janitors. So
well,
he should get a
fuck
medal.
You, Zoe. How dare she? Also, we're using Grover's special acorn magic to learn where to go. Mm-hmm. Where are we going?
Yeah, I want to know what he was doing with them acorns.
What do the acorns tell you?
But we're going to DC, apparently. We're going to DC.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which seems a little strange. They're arguing about it. Zoe wants to keep going straight west because that's what the prophecy says, but their tracking tells them to go to DC for some reason.
Well, maybe there's a reason why we have to go to DC. I don't know.
I think we'll find out.
I'm sure we will, at some point.
I love that Percy's talking about how old was Zoe? I wonder what's going on here. No, Percy, we're not gonna find that out right now.
No, definitely
Don't worry about it, Percy. He's thinking about it to himself so that the audience knows that all of those hints were important. Because the audience is presumably 12, and you sometimes need to reiterate things.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, goodbye. Is this when we say goodbye to Blackjack? Yeah.
Yeah.
We get there, and then bye, Blackjack.
Right, at the Washington Monument, which is also pointy.
It is pointy. Blackjack likes pointy things, I guess.
So I also looked this up. Walking, a horse can go for 8 hours. This is a 5.5 hour trip.
He wasn't walking.
He is not walking. He's flying, but we don't know
how long can
what
birds
his
go
flying speed is, and at what flying speed is equivalent to walking or trotting or gallop. Because a horse can only gallop for a couple minutes.
But he's also keeping up with the van.
Right.
So he's going presumably about 65 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm. A horse can only go, this website, horseyhooves.com, says that...
Only the best sources.
A horse can, on average, travel 30 to 50 miles a day in good condition. Top endurance horses can travel up to 100 miles a day with a rider on their back. But that's at about average speed, which is about 8 miles per hour.
Yeah, they were not going that fast.
Yeah, they were going much faster than that, but flying is different from running. So we just don't know.
We try to do the science here.
We don't know how exhausted Blackjack is, but I'm thinking he needs a little rub down. He needs a little water to cool off. You know, you got to take care of your horses.
It's nearly 300 miles from Long Island to DC, so there's that.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's fine. I also picture Zoe going like 90 miles an hour for some reason.
That would be
I mean, yeah,
hilarious.
driving like a maniac would imply that, I think.
Yeah.
Well, but I think he was mostly just referring to them not stopping, which, like, is a little wimpy of you, Percy. Like, come on. It's only 5.5 hours.
Hey, Percy might have a small bladder. You never know.
He definitely does. He also drinks a lot because water.
Water.
That's it. That's the only joke I can make.
Wow. Good job, Charlie. Doing
Are you
great.
saying that Percy pisses constantly?
Not only that, Percy can filter his own piss and drink it, because, he can purify water.
I just mean he has to stay hydrated constantly to make his water powers work, but also that means he has to piss constantly because he's constantly drinking water.
Can't he use the water in the air?
As the son of the sea god, I bet Percy has great bladder capacity and control.
Maybe it just felt like a longer time because he was on the back of a horse instead of in a car.
Yeah, that would also be more unpleasant.
And the horse is the only person he can talk to.
Yes. Like, he
It's
doesn't
fine.
have, demigods can't use technology anyway, but he doesn't have, any music to listen to, or none of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
he's
sadly,
stuck talking to Blackjack.
Doesn't have a radio attached
No.
to him or anything, so...
Can you imagine him wearing, a radio antenna on top of his head, and, when Blackjack opens his mouth, it's, Stitch with the record player, and just radio signals come out?
Oh, God.
Yeah, so Percy was listening to Elvis music the entire way, and that's
The
why
entire
he's like,
way.
can we take a break now? I'm done!
No. The only signal that Blackjack can pick up is Chiron's radio. So he's just
Oh,
hearing
God.
Dean Martin over and over and over again.
Oh! Yeah, I'd need a break after 5 hours.
So yeah, then he sends Blackjack home, which once again is a terrible, terrible call on Percy's part. For one thing, it seems weird because he's got to do a lot more flying in that case. For another thing, you're just gonna not have a flying horse anymore. What is your plan when they start moving again, Percy?
Here's the thing. Percy does not think, he does. That is his whole MO.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is
his
true.
His plan could have been to just, grab on the back of, their car or whatever.
Start skitching?
Yeah.
Skitchin'! Hell yeah.
That's it. That's what he's gonna do. And he can do that while invisible, I guess, so.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
By the end of this chapter, having a flying horse would have been so useful. How can skeletons get you if you are flying to the top of buildings?
Well, I think his plan, at least maybe his fraction of a plan, was to sneak in the back of the van while invisible
Mm-hmm.
and just stow away.
Yeah, he does. He looks over at the van, but then he follows them instead.
Okay, but Zoe already almost caught him. The invisibility hat is very good, but in enclosed spaces, it becomes less and less useful.
I mean, he does a pretty good job with it in the museum.
He does.
He
does.
At some point, they can't just, make him turn around. 5 shall go west.
Yeah.
He's the 5th one. He's part of the fucking quest, guys.
Right. That's sort of what I'm thinking his plan might actually be, is to just be like, hey guys, I'm here. What are you gonna do about it? I'm on the quest now.
He is quest crashing.
I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it, so.
I'm crashing your quest.
Okay, I didn't realize that the Camp Half-Blood car is a white van, and...
Yep. Yep.
Well, now I'm just thinking about that. They were driving in a creepy white van the entire time.
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
It's fine? Is
That
it?
actually did happen around my school when I was a kid.
Oh.
There was a white minivan that would drive around my elementary school.
Oh my god.
It was there for 3 or 4 months.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no one can do anything about that? That's very upsetting.
No, people did eventually do something about it when they found
Okay.
out what exactly was happening there.
Ew.
Don't like this.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I was a small child when that happened. I did not get called into the white van because that white van was mostly targeting the kids who were walking home. I rode the bus, so I did not interact with this person.
Well, not in the white van, is this man in... Who's this guy? It's Dr. Thorne.
Yep.
I forgot.
It is Dr.
I
Thorne
forgot who
in
it
a
was.
black sedan, which is equally suspicious.
Yeah, that just means government vehicle.
I hate the
he
government.
works for the general, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that that's the aesthetic for the villains in this book, is like government guys in black suits.
The government is evil. Is that what we're saying here? I think that's what we're saying.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
Have we decided what the general looks like? Is he the general from the little guy from the commercial?
Yes, he's the general from the insurance commercials. Go to the general and save some time. I don't remember how that actually goes.
So he's got like a giant mustache and like...
Yeah.
Wow, okay. I pictured him as like Lieutenant Surge from Pokemon.
Yeah, that too.
But not with the giant, like, flat top blonde hair like Lieutenant Surge has.
So yes, this is a very dangerous situation for Percy to find himself in. There's a lot of guys here, including Luke, who looks like shit.
Well, it's fine. We're going
got
to
him.
museums, you know? And museums are great.
I think it's funny that those museums are like right next to each other.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're all around the National Mall.
Which is not a mall for shopping.
I've actually been to the Air and Space Museum. No,
My
not a
little
mall for
sister
shopping.
has been here, and I have not at all.
Yeah, I've actually
I
been
have been
to the
there.
place that they're going right now, the Air and Space Museum,
Mm-hmm.
so...
Air and Space is... Yeah, the whole quest crew except Percy is at Air and Space right now. They're in, the History Museum? Or Natural History? Yes. Yes.
I've been there
Yes,
too.
Percy is in the Museum of Natural History, also known as the one in Night at the Museum.
Yes.
You mean in the second movie specifically?
Yes, that one. The first one takes place in New York, we know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And the third one takes place in London, but we don't need to talk about that.
The third one? I have thoughts.
It's Robin Williams' last performance.
Don't make me cry right now. We're not doing this.
I'm sorry, it's too late. I can't help it. I can't help it.
Well,
I broke Charlie. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
more importantly,
My podcast co-host. What'll I do now, Ethan?
this museum is closed for a pirate event, but Percy has dyslexia. So it's actually
Yeah,
private.
he has dyslexia. We just need to be reminded of dyslexia every once in a while.
I just want to imagine them as pirates.
So
They're all pirates.
Charlie knows this, Ray. My girlfriend's dad is dyslexic.
Mm.
And Charlie and I, our headcanon is that he's a son of Athena too, like me. But he's actually a son of Athena because he's dyslexic. My girlfriend's not. But Charlie said I'm dating a legacy, and I'm here for that.
Yeah, but that also means that you're both related to the same goddess. So
Which is kind of weird, but...
It's fine.
someday,
Godly genes don't count.
Well, the reason that I think he would be the son of Athena is because he does technical drawings for a living. He draws patents.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
That's a very Athena.
Like, when somebody sends in a new, like, invention to be patented, he takes it apart and he draws, like, the diagram of, like, this is this part, this is this part.
That's really cool,
Yep,
actually.
That's all he does. Very artistically talented man.
It's good shit. So Dr. Thorne and the General are dressed like pirates. For this
Oh, yeah,
event.
for sure.
You wish they were.
I do wish they were. I want more of Percy and the pirates. We got it for like one chapter in the last book.
Yep.
We need more Percy and pirates. So there's also the Snake Ladies, the
Yes.
Dracanae?
Dracanae?
Yes.
Dracanae? I'd say Dracan, because it is a k noise in Greek, correct?
The Snake Ladies.
Is
So-
it Dracanae?
Scythian Dracanae, something like that.
There's too many vowels there.
Yeah.
There's sure a lot of vowels. We sure do butcher a lot of Greek in this podcast.
I'm sorry, Greece. I'm sorry.
Yeah. If there are any listeners from Greece, I'm sorry.
Well, oh yeah, we were going to talk about Luke and how shitty he looks right now.
Yeah, he's aged 10 years in a few months. His scar is ugly red as if it's been reopened.
Okay, Ray, we were wrong. It's Dracini.
Dracini?
The fuck?
Okay. I can see it. I don't like it. I can see it.
That sounds so wrong to me.
I just sent this long ass Google link, but it takes you to a YouTube video saying how to pronounce it.
Excellent. Thank you. For once we'll pronounce something right. Dracini. And
I'm gonna forget that.
I do actually like that. Like, it's good to say. I don't like looking at it.
No, it doesn't look like it should sound like that.
It's fine.
At all.
Okay. Dr. Thorne hates Luke, which is hilarious. I
Who
mean,
doesn't?
if I was Manticore and I had to listen to this like teenager, I mean,
That I get.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you
thousands
gotta
of
take your
year old
orders.
Manticore listening to a 16-year-old, I think.
nobody likes an
Luke is
upstart
like
in their organization.
21 right now.
Is he? Hold on.
Oh, is he?
He was like 19 in the first book.
Yeah.
So he's
yeah,
like 20,
you're totally
21.
right.
Yeah, so you
He
get
is
orders from
21.
a college kid.
He's so old.
Yeah. You gotta think about Luke's age.
Boy.
He's younger than me, but still. So like that's like taking orders from me. I'm 22.
Yeah, I ain't taking orders from you, man.
I know.
You're
it's
a
the
child.
worst. Yep, I'm a baby.
Yeah, no, you gotta think about Luke's age a lot.
It just seems weird because everybody's teens.
Yep.
Listen, when you get into things, when you think about Annabeth's crush on Luke,
I don't want to think about
Annabeth
that.
is allowed to feel however she wants to feel.
she's allowed.
He just has to not be weird about it.
Yeah, he can't be weird. He's not allowed to be weird.
I mean, he's weird about everything all the time because he sucks.
Yeah, Luke sucks.
He
But
does.
everyone's gonna be
He's
thirsting
terrible.
over him because of what's
The
his
TV
name? Who's
show.
gonna- yeah, the
Oh,
Luke
yeah, what is
stands
his
are gonna
name?
come out.
They are gonna come
I
out.
know we share the same name. I know that.
Charlie?
It's Charlie something.
I'm gonna look. Charlie Bushnell
Yes.
is his name.
He is adorable. Love him.
He is.
Yeah. So imagining him as Luke, all the Luke stands are out, but Luke looks like shit right now, so it's fine.
I feel like Luke stands and Loki stands, that Venn diagram is a circle.
You could be right. I think
Okay,
there's a difference.
but Luke's
here.
not fun though. Like,
Yeah.
at least Loki's supposed to be a fun guy.
There's a big difference here.
I haven't watched like his series or whatever, but
Loki is like he's the Tumblr sexy man. That's what Loki
Yeah.
is.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas Luke is an edgy boy, which is a different beast from a Tumblr sexy man. Edgy boy, and
Okay.
it's a related etymology, but it's not quite the same.
So you're saying that the Venn diagram exists, but it's not a circle.
It's not a circle.
Yeah. Okay, no, people who are the Venn diagram of people who are into Luke is a circle with the Venn diagram of people who are into what is his name? Kylo Ren.
Oh, yes. Okay, that makes sense.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're totally right, actually.
Okay, that I understand.
That's where we're at.
Though, I will say-
we have it.
Adam Driver is just a sexy man as a whole, so that's why I like Kylo Ren, because Adam Driver is a very attractive man. But
There
there's
you
that.
go.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fight you. Like, I like for people to enjoy media however they want to.
No, his actions are terrible,
It's
but
not
he
my
looks
taste.
so hot while doing it.
Just don't excuse the actions. You can say that he's hot.
Also, I enjoying a guy who's a little fucked up. He's not my personal brand
Ray,
of a little
I know
bit fucked up.
You enjoy guys who are a little fucked up. I know you enjoy that.
Also, women who are a little fucked up.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
you know, to each their own.
All right. There's a chapter going on here. We're so derailed.
Yeah, we are like halfway through. We've been recording for over an hour. We got to go.
Yeah,
we haven't even learned how to grow
we
the
gotta
zombies.
hurry up and do this.
So-
Oh yeah, we're not even not to that part yet. Oh boy.
So they know that the Questers are here. They don't know that Percy's here, but they know that everyone else is here.
And the general knows of Zoe and does not seem happy about her. He even says, don't say that name when somebody starts talking about her. Like there's beef there.
Definitely.
Don't know
Which,
what's going on.
you know, we can tie into a previous chapter, because at some point Zoe and Bianca were like talking about her suspicions of who the general would be. And Zoe's like, don't mention it. I don't want to talk about that.
We don't talk
So... The general.
Roll.
I don't know. That did not work.
Yeah.
So we got some history there.
Yep. We got some stuff going on here. The general is the one like making all the plans. Luke is like second there, and Dr. Thorne is At the bottom. Don't care about Dr. Thorne.
There's rocks, there's whale poop, and then there's you.
He has beef with the general here, too, because he wants to go after the heroes himself, and the general's like, no, you're a failure. Get out of here.
Oh, yeah, there's the whole thing about you brought me Annabeth, and I wanted a child of the big three. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was sent to capture. Interesting. Not gonna dwell on that, but...
Okay, so very interesting here, the foreshadowing right here. Here's a very important line, it appears to me. The first thing we must do is isolate Thalia. The monster we seek will then come to her. So the Elder Three Gods seem to have something to do with whatever the MacGuffin, the creature, the thing that we keep hearing about.
Well, I mean... Maybe this relates to the Great Prophecy, because, child of the big three, and Thalia is the oldest one of those, so she might reach 16.
She is.
Pretty soon she might reach 16. So, I don't know. But now we're gonna water some teeth.
We're gonna water some teeth with some blood.
I guess that does make sense, even if the liquid isn't part of the myth. Like, you're sowing them into ground, you gotta water them a little bit.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. And, like, having a way to activate it so that also, like, otherwise it would feel like you would have to, like, wait for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a dark red liquid. Is it blood? Unclear.
I'm pretty sure it's blood.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure it's blood.
It's not blood of the gods, because their blood is gold.
No. Nobody said what kind of blood it had to be.
I'm just
like,
saying.
No,
it's not godly blood, at least.
It's dragon teeth, so we were like, why does it make people? That's weird. It's because it's human blood. You water dragon teeth with human blood, and that makes weird ghost guys.
And you water
okay.
a saber-toothed lion, or whatever teeth,
with human blood, and it makes kittens.
That makes sense.
Who knows?
I think this is the SpongeBob thing, right? It's the sponge plus star equals clam.
Okay. Yep.
That's what's going on right now.
Total
we can't
sense.
math.
Total sense.
So we have a kitten. I want this kitten, and it's a cute little orange tabby. I'm gonna steal it.
Doesn't it make like a few kittens?
Yeah, it makes a few.
Yeah. But still.
Yeah.
Presumably they all look the same.
I want them. I want them all. I want all these cats.
He's so angry.
Little ghost
cute,
cats.
cuddly kittens. Where did you find those teeth?
You want the fact... Okay, it's so realistic, actually, that humans would find dragon teeth and be like, oh, it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex, because dragons don't exist.
Foolish mortals.
I've been to the Creationist Museum with my aunt.
I'm sorry.
The what?
Yeah. We went to the Ark and the Creationist Museum. She had like a double ticket. They're like near each other.
This is in like Kentucky, right?
God, I don't remember. I think so.
It wouldn't surprise me if it is.
They're very beautiful. It's like Disney level like setup.
It's Disney. It's Disneyland for like culty evangelical Christians. That's what it is.
Oh yeah, it's horrifying. I saw a video of a T-Rex eating a watermelon, just whole, just like swallowing it. Because everything's vegetarian in the Garden of Eden. Don't worry about it. Anyways, there was a whole exhibit about how dinosaurs are just dragons and or some shit. I don't remember how that followed in with their belief system. But there was a whole thing of just like people like writing like dragon dinosaurs.
Their whole thing is like they don't believe in evolution, so like...
No, okay, I forgot. There was a whole thing about how dragon myths come from dinosaurs because humans and dinosaurs obviously existed at the same time.
Oh, obviously.
Because God made everything at the same time. So...
Not like that whole passage at the beginning of Genesis was metaphor.
The fact that all these cultures have dragon myths is proof that dinosaurs and humans existed at the same time. Anyways...
It was also exactly 7 days to create everything.
Oh, definitely. Exactly
7. Even though the concept of days didn't exist.
Exactly 7 days. 24-hour days. It's important.
The concept of days didn't exist yet.
Not to come after Christian followers. I'm sorry, guys.
You're on the call with Ray. I'm chill.
I'm absolutely coming after these people. I'm sorry. I'm not.
No, you're good. You can come after those people. I don't like those people.
Yeah, militant evangelicals who are real weird about it. Yes, I am coming after you. People who are chill, you're fine. Just be chill.
People, be chill. be chill.
I mean, that's the goal.
We're all gay here, so if you don't like that, you can leave.
Okay. The energy in here right now.
Sorry, I took way too long to make that point. It was really... I cannot forget that video of the Garden of Eden where, obviously nothing could kill, but all the predators are there in their current forms because evolution doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to look at a T-Rex just swallow an entire fucking melon. Just gently grip it between her jaws.
Wow.
So stupid.
God.
Anyway, so the general also uses Tylenol. Because he has pains.
Hey, some people can't take Advil. Let the man have his Tylenol.
I know, I just think it's so funny that we name drop Tylenol.
No, relatable, TBH. His shoulders hurt, his neck, like...
No, all of my stress manifests right here.
Yep.
Okay, yeah,
listeners, I'm
there
gesturing
it is.
to the space between my shoulders and my neck.
Yeah, I understand.
I am taking acetaminophen, I am taking ibuprofen,
I understand. Yeah, so now we build the actual fucking warriors with the skeletal hands. Okay. They are weird skeleton people, but I don't know. They're skeletons, but they have skin, but
So I think what Rick's getting at is they look like people, but their skin is translucent and gray.
Yeah. And so, if you don't look at them for very long, it doesn't, twick you too bad. But if you're staring at it, you're like, oh my god, that's like a skeleton, I think.
I want to see these people. I really want to see them.
That would be very cool. I like this description. I think it's interesting. It's not a zombie.
No.
It's 100% not that.
No, not at all. Sadly, they're also not your favorite, your husband, Ray. The 10-foot, 12-foot skeleton, the Halloween skeleton.
Oh.
the Home Depot.
The Home Depot Halloween skeleton?
I know that's your husband.
Yeah, disappointing.
I have very seriously considered buying one of those things and putting it in my yard.
I
covet the 12-foot tall
But it's very
skeleton.
expensive.
Yeah.
It's $300 for a 12-foot skeleton.
I want it. They're so good.
Percy also mentions as soon as these guys are up that they can totally see him. They're magic.
It's
Mhm.
fine. Does that mean the cat can see it?
I think it's interesting that the cat fools gods and titans.
But not these skeleton dudes. Not these resurrected skeleton dudes.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it's because they're made to hunt things.
Can the cat see him too?
Well, though the cats aren't in the room, so how do we know that they can see him?
I
We
wanna know.
could never know. I'm assuming that most animals are not. They're very fooled by the invisibility cap, anyways.
I just mean the
Well,
magic
'cause,
cat.
Animals have good senses of smell, so they could probably tell he was there
Exactly.
anyway.
The cats do seem to be different from the guys, though.
They do.
Yeah.
I think those are just cats.
I just love the cats so much.
You're just obsessed with these cats.
Listen. I'm a cat person first.
Oh, yeah. Continuing with the government theme, they're wearing gray muscle shirts, camo pants, and combat boots. Like guys going to PT, sort of. That's physical training for you non-military folks.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
They have yellow eyes.
And I think it's just because the aesthetic is intimidating and also has this this veneer of organization and of structure, because we're using the name general. We are making the enemies seem as if they are a highly structured group that has a chain of command. That we've never really seen before. It's always just been Luke and his ragtag ship.
Yeah, there is a structure here. I want to know how they're getting their money.
They don't need money. They are presumably paying these mortals who are working for them. So
They
I
have
don't know.
cars. They're getting around the U.S. in various ways. I don't know. And they just got this section of the museum and stole some shit. I want to know how they did that.
That's just missed shit. Don't worry about it.
Are you sure?
So another addition of Ricks to the mythology of these guys, the Spartoi or whatever they are called. Is that once they catch a scent, they will pursue its owner relentlessly, and nothing can stop them. Which is a very, like, fairy tale myth type thing. Like, you run into that sort of trope.
Yeah, like the dogs
like
that
a
will...
relentless hunter.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't think that the original guys have anything to do with that.
No.
But it definitely works here.
They just want to kill things in the original. It doesn't matter what it is.
Percy thwarts them catching the scent of the party. Because he's got to do something.
But it doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, but the fact that Luke is just like... Luke just knows it's Percy. Luke knows this invisible person is Percy. Because he's like, it's that fucking kid! I hate him!
Well, Luke also has, like, critical thinking skills. He knows about Annabeth's hat. He knows that Annabeth is captured. Like, who else is it gonna be?
Thalia?
Could be Thalia. But yeah, this is also a very Percy move. Like...
Yeah, this is where he comes back to doing his Percy things.
Of rushing in without really thinking about it. And
right.
Just doing whatever.
Instead of being a sneaky boy going around gathering intel.
Putting himself in danger for the sake of others, as you do.
That's his fatal flaw. That's how he does.
It's how he does. He's my beautiful son. I love him.
I
wish he would think every once in a while, though, with his brain.
Nah, that's not his thing.
Because a flying horse would sure come in handy right now.
Head empty. No thoughts. Only Percy.
No, for Percy, it's head empty, no thoughts, only Annabeth.
That's true.
Only self-sacrifice.
Yeah, that too.
Princess girl curls, pretty girl. That's what he thinks about.
To be fair, I relate.
Well, that is
okay.
The chapter.
We did it! That's a chapter.
It is indeed.
That is the chapter. We did it. We talked about it for so long.
It's fine.
It's all good.
We had a lot of tangents to go on.
We were taken on a journey. Well, Ethan, where can the people find you? And also, what media would you like to plug that you've been getting into recently?
Yeah, so people can find me on the internet at ethan.t.hulen on Instagram. My last name is spelled Hulen. You can find me at etphonehome on Twitter. The O's are zeros, the E's are threes. As far as media I'd like to recommend, I'm gonna go with Lord of the Rings of Power, because that show just started, and even though I don't like Amazon as a company, I want more Lord of the Rings content in my life. So there are no ethical consumptions under capitalism.
Yeah,
you know I'm watching Good Omens, so I can't. I have no.
We know.
No defense here.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying it though. Like I know we've had some worries about how that would turn out. So if you're getting some good Lord of the Rings content, then
I was surprised in a good way at how good it was. So
good.
Yeah. Good shit. Well, y'all, what I have been watching recently, and I just finished the other day, was Kim Possible.
Oh,
so
yes.
that's my plug, because I finally watched all of Kim Possible.
Fantastic show.
And yeah, that sure is a good show with a good theme song. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
I was in fact singing it.
That
nonstop.
theme song do slap.
It do.
Good shit.
I'll just say Mob Psycho 100, season 3 is going to come out at some point. That's a good show if you never gave it the time. It's very, very good. In order to date this podcast, because it's not going to come out for weeks, but it's been a very exciting time on Tumblr recently, because there were some Twitter polls.
Oh boy.
That Reagan Arataka won. He won both Twink, Anime Twink, and he won Anime DILF, despite not having any children.
Hey, people are gonna do what they're gonna do.
He almost won Tumblr Sexy Man. He was so close. The Reagan sweep tag was trending. He was so close. And in the final showdown, he lost to Sans by 0.1%.
Wow.
It was incredible. The fan art has been incredible. So
Amazing.
Anyways, yeah, Mob Psycho 100, amazing show. Reagan Arataka, we love him. We love to see it.
Good shit.
He did deserve to be beaten by Sans by 0.1%. Toby Fox wrote a little paragraph of fanfiction about the Tumblr sexy man poll. It was things have been insane.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
We're talking so much about Tumblr sexy men.
Okay, then.
If you have never been on Tumblr and you don't know about the Tumblr ecosystem, yeah, I there's no way to explain it to you. It's insane over there.
I have never touched that website a day in my life because I was told by my cousin to stay far, far away.
I have found my own niche. I have my place over there. I find it more pleasant to use than Twitter. It has more of a sense of community, I feel. Things go too fast on Twitter. On Tumblr, you can reblog posts from 10 years ago and no one cares.
Twitter's also just a dumpster fire of all the worst parts of humanity, so...
Yeah. The only celebrities on Tumblr are, like, Neil Gaiman, Dante Bosco, like...
John Green?
And they're just chillin'. On Twitter, if you mention a celebrity, then they might, like, show up and talk to you. It's horrifying. I hate it. I don't want them in my fandom spaces.
Well, this has been a time.
It has indeed.
Oh my goodness. Y'all need to get out of my fucking cabin so I can play with my little ghost zombie cat. Goodbye.
You won't even let me pet your cat. I can't believe this.
How rude.
You can follow the podcast socials at Of the Eldest Gods Pod on Instagram and at Of the Eldest Gods on Twitter. You can send an Iris message to us through oftheeldestgodspod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, go to patreon.com/oftheeldestgods. By becoming a patron, you can join the Movie Night Crew Network server, where you get to chat with us and hear some no-context spoilers about episodes we are recording. I personally recommend the $5 tier, where you get access to Against All Odds, our bonus show where we talk about basically anything vaguely related to mythology, Percy Jackson, or whatever we like. We also have a merch store on TeePublic, where all our designs are made by Charlie. Or if you cannot support us financially, please give us a review on iTunes and rate us on Spotify to help others know how much you love this podcast. You can follow me, Ray, at HeyHeyRay on Twitter. I also have another podcast called Barbie Movie Slap, where my co-host Ted and I talk about the Barbie cinematic universe. You can check out that podcast Twitter at Barbie Slaps.
You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms, but on Twitter, I'm at GreenPixie123, which I'm totally not salty about. I also have an art Instagram that I sometimes use at GreenPixieDraws. I sometimes do the YouTube thing on my channel, Charlie Mack, that's MACK, and I also have another podcast on the network called Fandoms Gone Wrong, where my mom and I talk about movies, TV shows, books, whatever other fandoms we enjoy. You can find that on all the major podcasting apps. Our music was written by Isabel Strauss-Riggs and recorded and edited by Ian M. Riggs. You can find Izzy at Kane_I, that's I is in the body part, on Instagram and Twitter. She also currently makes video essays on the YouTube channel Kane I. Feel free to message her about making music for your project or editing your podcast.
Of the Eldest Gods is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like The Restricted Section, a chapter-by-chapter Harry Potter pod with lots of spoilers all the time.
What's up, potheads? We're the Restricted Section, a raunchy, rowdy, rambling, unabashedly pro-trans rights Harry Potter book club podcast hosted by a bunch of nihilistic millennial assholes who are desperately clinging to childhood fantasy as a way to escape the monotony of our 9-to-5 work culture and the inevitable extinction of the human race at our own hands. Isn't it wild that this book series was spontaneously created by the gods and has no actual author? The Restricted Section features a bunch of nerds with potty mouths rereading the Harry Potter series for what has to be like the 3rd to 20th time, and discussing the way the story and its themes have stayed with each and every one of us into our adulthood. We would love for you to join us every Wednesday wherever pods are cast.
Of the Eldest Gods is based on the series by Rick Riordan. Right now we are discussing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Remember to follow us on your favorite podcatcher and meet us back here every Thursday.
Okay. Ethan, you know your cabin. You're all set here. I don't need
I'm
to
good.
remind you. You're in the intro.
Excellent.
Nope.
Sometimes I forget my cabin, so so I'm glad somebody's
You're already failing.
on top of it.
Uh,
Dave X Media.